Get down the ground! Get down the ground! Do that!
Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Police Pursuit. Today we launch a new fresh series where people mess with the wrong cops. Every reckless choice flips on instant justice. Buckle up. Let's roll right now, folks.
Mr. Smith.
On September 3rd, 2025, Bay County Dispatch received multiple 911 calls about an armed man acting erratically on Weber Road. The suspect, 45-year-old Justin Chandler Smith, was carrying a handgun and a shotgun, alarming nearby residents and prompting an immediate police response.
Where you at?
Bay County. I'm on Edith. No, is this Edith Height? Nope.
It is not.
This is Carolina. Subdivision.
Okay.
When a deputy made contact, Smith became hostile and ignored commands to disarm. As the deputy approached, Smith drew a handgun and pointed it, leading to an exchange of gunfire. Even after being struck, Smith continued firing, escalating the danger.
Grab it. Don't you touch it. Don't. No fear,
Bay, I got one at gunpoint.
No fear.
Put it down. Put it down. Bay, shots fired.
Drop the gun. Drop it.
I need code 3 now. I got shots fired. Bay, shots fired. One subject down.
Deputies immediately provided medical aid, but Smith was pronounced dead at the scene. Fortunately, no officers or civilians were injured. This incident underscores how rapidly armed confrontations can escalate and serves as a powerful reminder that refusing to comply with law enforcement can lead to irreversible and tragic consequences. On July 4th, 2025, Orlando police responded to a disturbance and located 22-year-old Zion Keppel, matching an armed suspect description.
Get down the ground! Get down the ground! Do it now! Stop!
Keppel ignored repeated commands and fled toward a nearby apartment. A taser was deployed but had little effect, and he continued running despite briefly falling, increasing the risk to officers and others nearby.
Keep your hands out or I'm gonna fucking shoot you. Put your hands behind your back.
Alright. He got zero in his pants.
As he reached the door, a sudden movement prompted officers to draw their firearm and issue commands. He eventually complied and was taken into custody. A firearm with an extended magazine and cannabis were recovered, highlighting the importance of compliance to prevent escalation. On April 10th, 2022, at approximately 1:55 a.m., while patrolling Interstate 85 South near Buford Drive, officers observed a suspicious white vehicle. When the officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop, the driver immediately accelerated, beginning a dangerous pursuit that lasted nearly 2 hours during the early morning.
Traffic is light, 112 miles an hour. Passing exit 71.
System terminal passing exit 51.
71 radio.
Radio clear. Traffic light, 112 miles per hour passing exit 71.
The suspect continuously drove at extremely high speeds, weaving through lanes and at times driving against traffic. Throughout the pursuit, repeated warnings from officers were ignored, creating a high-risk situation across multiple main and side roads for nearly 2 hours.
Traffic light, 107 miles an hour, coming up on exit 72.
During the chase, the suspect engaged in multiple reckless behaviors, running red lights, cutting across lanes, and forcing other vehicles to take evasive action, putting law enforcement in a highly dangerous situation. Officers continuously evaluated safe methods to stop the vehicle while minimizing the risk of accidents for both the suspect and other road users.
Speed 109, northbound, northbound 85, coming up on exit 73, Virginia.
Finally, when the vehicle reached 109 miles per hour, officers executed a pit maneuver. The maneuver occurred precisely at this speed, causing the car to spin violently before colliding with the roadside, effectively ending the pursuit. The suspect was apprehended at the scene, ensuring the safety of officers and other motorists.
We're going to be 95 northbound before exit 73.
Radio clear. Turn on your pin of the vehicle.
That's okay.
Hurry, see if you want that, baby.
This incident highlights the extreme recklessness and danger of fleeing at high speeds. It also serves as a reminder of the importance of obeying traffic laws, the critical role of law enforcement in managing high-risk situations, and the potential consequences when drivers disregard their own safety and that of others. In Moses Lake, Washington, on May 4th, 2024, around 8:20 p.m., police responded to a domestic disturbance at a Motel 6. Reports indicated that 37-year-old Zachary Allen Stockton had threatened to kill his girlfriend and pointed a gun at her. The victim managed to alert authorities, prompting a rapid police response.
Other hand, please.
Do you have a gun, sir?
I'm sorry, what?
Because we got a report that there was an assault here. Can you come over here?
There was no assault.
Okay. All right.
Body cam footage showed officers attempting to de-escalate, urging Stockton to surrender. Instead, he suddenly exited the room armed with 2 firearms and opened fire. Officers returned fire, striking him and stopping the threat. Stockton was taken into custody, hospitalized, and later jailed without bail, facing multiple serious charges.
Okay, please come out.
Todd, you good? Todd, you good?
Wife and 3 kids, man. It's the last thing I want to do. Okay, please come out.
Sergeant Monroe was shot in the foot and is recovering after surgery, while Officer Taylor was unharmed. The incident underscores the dangers of armed encounters and the importance of rapid, controlled response.
You are. You were definitely fine.
On February 7th, 2022, at approximately 1:45 p.m., a patrol officer on I-85 South at Buford Drive observed a dark Chevrolet Malibu switching from lane number 2 to lane number 3 at high speed. Using a custom Signals Pro Laser 3, the officer recorded the vehicle traveling 91 miles per hour in a 70 miles per hour zone. When the officer activated emergency lights, the driver briefly stopped and identified herself as Coriana Lewis, but this information did not match records. When the supervisor arrived, the driver suddenly accelerated and fled, weaving through multiple lanes at speeds exceeding 130 miles per hour, nearly striking other vehicles. The suspect continued reckless driving along Sugarloaf Parkway, ignoring red lights and weaving through traffic on Old Peachtree Road. The pursuit was ended using a pit/push bumper maneuver as the suspect attempted a wide U-turn at Old Peachtree Road and Cross Point Way. The officer pushed the vehicle onto the sidewalk and pinned the driver's door, successfully immobilizing the car. The driver was checked on scene by Gwinnett EMS, transported to Gwinnett Northside Hospital, and then taken to Gwinnett County Jail. The Chevrolet Malibu was released to Willard's Wrecker Service. Reckless driving, ignoring traffic laws, and endangering the community can result in serious accidents or injuries to oneself and others. Following the law, recognizing hazards, and taking timely action are essential to prevent avoidable tragedies. On June 25, 2025, around 12:55 p.m., Orlando police responded to a 911 call reporting a woman threatening self-harm with a knife at an apartment on Pioneers Way. A crisis negotiator briefly spoke with her, but communication was unstable as she hung up and called back shortly after.
And you were doing great. I know you're hurting, but I just want to talk to you out here. Can you open the door and come outside? We just want to help you, Rachel. If you can answer the phone or open the door and come outside. Hey, Rachel. I just want you to come outside so we can talk. Listen, I know you got a job at TJ Maxx. I know you want to see Paisley.
The woman, identified as 32-year-old Rachel Ellis, initially stepped outside holding a knife before returning inside. Moments later, she reemerged carrying 2 knives and suddenly ran toward officers on scene, creating an immediate and dangerous situation that escalated within seconds.
Drop the knife, Rachel. Rachel, stop.
Alright, headquarters, we got 1 female down. I need OSD.
Rachel,
Stop. Officers discharged their weapons, fatally striking Ellis. No officers were injured, and the identities of those involved were withheld under Marsy's law. The case remains under investigation. This incident highlights the importance of mental health support and de-escalation, while also showing how rapidly threats can escalate when weapons are involved. A dangerous high-speed pursuit unfolded on I-95 near St. Augustine when a black SUV fled from law enforcement. The driver continuously accelerated, reaching speeds of up to 125 miles per hour, recklessly weaving between cars and large trucks, even using the right-hand emergency lane to overtake vehicles, creating a severe risk of collision along the route. Officers repeatedly issued warnings and assessed safe methods to stop the vehicle. When the SUV approached a narrow section between 2 large trucks, officers decided to execute a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle. The pit was deployed precisely at high speed, causing the SUV to spin violently, lose complete control, and slide toward the roadside. Immediately following the pit, the SUV collided with one of the trucks and flipped violently into a grassy ditch beside the highway. Officers quickly secured the scene and ensured safety. The driver, a young black male, was removed from the wreckage, handcuffed, and taken into custody, bringing the dangerous pursuit to a controlled end. This pursuit highlights the extreme recklessness and high-speed danger of the suspect, while showcasing the officer's skill and rapid response, particularly in executing the pit to prevent a catastrophic incident. It also serves as a warning about the serious consequences of fleeing law enforcement at high speeds, endangering both the suspect and others on the road.
Just be advised, he did a U-turn and came head on.
On July 19, 2023, an Arizona jury found Juan Manuel Rodriguez guilty of 11 charges, including attempted first-degree murder and aggravated assault on law enforcement, following a 2022 shooting that stemmed from a high-speed pursuit in Kingman.
Put your hands up! 0215, 2 at gunpoint. He's running again, we hit. Zebra 215, shots fired. Where are you at? Thompson!
The incident began on April 1, 2022, when Rodriguez fled a traffic stop, attempted to ram an AZ DPS detective, and later opened fire with a fully automatic weapon. The detective returned fire while under attack, suffering a gunshot wound to the back. He was transported to a hospital and later released.
Ow! Zebra 215, I'm hit! Zebra 215, shot in the back.
Rodriguez, also wounded, fled to the desert where he was tracked by a DPS helicopter and arrested near a community college. A discarded bag was recovered containing over $34,000 in cash, fentanyl, meth, and 5 firearms, including an Uzi. Rodriguez was convicted of multiple charges, including drug trafficking, unlawful flight, drive-by shooting, and weapons violations.
Hello?
The video opens with a police officer approaching a white van parked in a lot. Inside is a visibly distressed woman who initially refuses to exit, expressing concern for her dogs. After a few minutes of emotional conversation, she steps out, crying and sharing that she's struggling. Her father recently passed away, and her twin sister made her homeless.
I'd like to talk to you. Easy enough.
What?
Just step out of the car. The dogs will be fine. I don't know why you're crying. I don't know what's going on.
My sister is...
Okay, step out of the car. We're not going to have this conversation with you peeking in and out of this car. Close the door for the dogs. Close the door for the dogs. There we go. How are you doing today?
Horrible.
Okay. Claudia, right? Turn around for me. Relax! Hey!
Get away!
No! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Hey, stop!
Back up.
The situation takes a dramatic turn when officers inform her of an outstanding felony warrant. As they attempt to arrest her, she resists, draws a handgun, and flees in the van, triggering a pursuit. The chase winds through city streets before ending in a residential cul-de-sac, where police surround her. In a shocking moment, the woman climbs onto the roof of her van, still armed.
Turn down, you're over.
Stand by for direction. West on Wells Drive. Hey guys, gonna be a dead end street. Looks like possibly a Fargo. Last unit in that pursuit, just hold your spot. Might need you continue west. Might have a quicker favor.
Get out of the car!
Hold that
Turn off the car! Turn off the car!
It looks like they're doing
Stop the car now! Stop!
like third here.
Nowhere else! Stop the fucking car!
Continue to hold the frequency.
Hey, drop the gun! Drop her gun! Hey, she's got the gun to her mouth! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Delta, you stay hold here.
Drop the gun!
Clear vehicle 109 Rapid Street for supervision. All units responding information. The pursuit location is Morrow and Avalar. Morrow and Avalar. For the CP.
Claudia, stop! Stop, Claudia!
Claudia, drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Officers work to de-escalate, pleading with her to drop the weapon. At one point, she raises the gun to her own head, and the standoff grows more tense. Despite officers' continued attempts to calm her and avoid violence, the encounter ends in tragedy. An officer-involved shooting occurs, and the woman is struck by gunfire. She falls to the ground, and the video concludes with officers rushing in to render medical aid. A man speeding on a motorcycle attracted police attention when he dangerously weaved through traffic, endangering other drivers. Officers quickly realized he might be intoxicated while trying to escape. The driver then veered off the road, speeding through open fields in a desperate attempt to get away. Despite the rough terrain, he continued to accelerate. The chase ended when officers performed a controlled pit maneuver, safely stopping the motorcycle. He was arrested and charged with speeding, drug use, and driving with an expired license.
26. I believe that tire is going to be somewhere right behind it.
On the afternoon of Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, at approximately 5:30 p.m., units from the Arkansas State Police, working alongside the Texarkana, Arkansas Police Department, engaged in the pursuit of a stolen vehicle traveling through the streets of Texarkana. After locating the suspect heading north on Jefferson Avenue, troopers quickly joined the chase. The driver immediately merged onto the interstate and floored the accelerator, pushing the vehicle to nearly 95 miles per hour in a desperate attempt to escape.
Good kid, crash out. They're about to crash out. We're about to see.
The pursuit came to a violent end when the driver attempted to pass another vehicle along the median near the interstate interchange. At high speed, he lost complete control. The vehicle swerved violently and overturned multiple times before coming to rest upside down in the median, its frame crushed and motionless.
It's traffic clear. I'm going to try to get TP out. They're passing on the left inside shoulder. They're about to wreck out right here. Looks like, yep, they're wrecking out in the median. Roll over, roll over.
Driver, show me your motherfucking hands! Hey, show me your hands! Muscles, you understand? I will tase the hell out of you. Stand the fuck up. I said stand up, bro.
Troopers quickly moved in and took the driver, a 17-year-old local resident, into custody. After being transported to Christus St. Michael Healthcare for treatment and cleared of life-threatening injuries, the suspect was transferred to a juvenile detention center. The high-speed chase had come to an end, but the legal consequences he now faced were only just beginning.
Stand up. Put your feet under you. Don't play stupid. You done did up.
Line them up, radio.
While on patrol, Station 20 dispatched broadcast that the Detroit Police Department was following a vehicle that had been taken in an armed carjacking. The Auto Theft Task Force was conducting surveillance on the target and requested assistance with a traffic stop near westbound I-96 and Telegraph Road. Troopers immediately activated their emergency lights and sirens to assist. Upon realizing law enforcement presence, the suspect accelerated and fled, exiting at Telegraph Road and continuing at high speed through multiple city streets. The pursuit quickly escalated into an extremely dangerous situation as the suspect repeatedly ran red lights and drove at speeds exceeding 100 to 120 miles per hour on roads posted for only 25 to 45 miles per hour. The vehicle was confirmed to be stolen in an armed carjacking and connected to multiple other robberies, posing a severe threat to public safety. When an opportunity presented itself on Grand River Avenue, a trooper successfully executed a pit maneuver, causing the vehicle to lose control and come to a stop. However, shortly after, a Detroit police vehicle accidentally struck the driver's side door of the patrol unit as officers moved in to secure the scene.
Going back eastbound.
Going back east.
Pit initiated.
Out on foot.
The police officer ran directly over him, but luckily not hard enough, so he continued running to escape. Refusing to surrender, the suspect, later identified as Arnez Arnold Carter, exited the vehicle and fled on foot through residential streets. The trooper pursued closely behind, and the patrol vehicle made slight contact with the suspect due to wet ground conditions and reduced braking effectiveness after the high-speed pursuit. The chase continued on foot as the suspect ran behind a residence and jumped a fence. Officers quickly closed in, followed over the fence, and subdued Carter at the scene. He was taken into custody without further incident, bringing the dangerous pursuit involving an armed carjacking suspect to an end. At approximately 8:28 a.m. on February 20th, 2026, a trooper observed a black 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee speeding eastbound on I-630 near mile marker 4 in Little Rock. When emergency lights and siren were activated, the driver failed to comply and continued forward, changing lanes and activating hazard lights as if considering stopping, but never pulling over. The Jeep maintained speed as it approached the bridge near exit 2B, while surrounding traffic was forced to yield. Vehicles began stacking up ahead, increasing the risk of a serious collision.
East, approaching the tube.
Seeing no signs of compliance and recognizing the growing danger, the trooper waited for a safe opening and executed a tactical vehicle intervention. The maneuver was successful, forcing the Jeep out of motion and bringing the pursuit to an end before any bystanders were harmed. After the stop, the driver stated he was on the way to the hospital with his wife and 2 juveniles. Medical personnel responded to evaluate the passengers, and the Jeep was later towed from the scene, bringing the incident to a close.